Hello students, welcome to the new video on Analog Electronics 1. Myself Kunjan Vittal Roy in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering in GEM-TECH Greater Noida. In this video we are starting with power amplifiers, which are the fourth unit topics. So in the fourth unit we have power amplifiers in detail. So first of all, what are power amplifiers? Any amplifier which amplifies a particular signal, magnifies particular voltage or current is called the amplifier. But what about power amplifier? Do they really amplify power? The answer is no. So if they do not amplify the power, why are they called power amplifiers? So it has a lot of explanation behind this. Along with this, we have to discuss more features of power amplifier in this video. So basically, power amplifiers, firstly, they are called as the large signal amplifiers. They are used in the last stages of a public address system. In this block diagram, a public address system is shown where the initial stages are showing voltage amplifier or small signal amplifier or linear amplifier, whereas the last stage is showing power amplifier. Why is it called power amplifier? That firstly, the level of the voltage, the signal is relatively large, so that they can handle large signals, and for that they use the devices of high wattage rating, high current rating, and these devices, these transistors are called as power transistors. So therefore they are called as the power amplifier. Along with that, they basically converts DC bias. They extracts the power from the DC bias and converts it into useful AC power. So they are a kind of DC to AC power converters, but since they work as an amplifier, so they are called as the power amplifiers. So from the energy conservation rule, the energy or the power can neither be increased nor be decreased, can only be transferred from one form to another. So this conservation rule is applicable here. So the power, overall power of the circuit cannot be magnified, but the only thing is that along with the AC signal, AC power, it extracts the DC power also and converts it into useful AC power. So overall there is a magnification of power at the output. This is the concept behind it. So the DC power is distributed according to the relation DC power input equal to AC power output plus losses. So this DC power from the input is converted into useful AC power, but along with that the few losses are also observed. So for such power amplification, a normal transistor would not do. As I mentioned that they require large wattage rating, large current rating, and the size of the devices is also relatively big. So therefore they are called as the power transistors. They have thicker or larger regions. Their collector region of the transistor is made large. And a heat sink is placed at the collector base junction. Heat sink is a metallic plate which is connected at the collector base junction in order to dissipate the heat from the silicon wafer and to avoid the damage due to heat. Okay, so after this we have to understand the difference between a voltage amplifier and the power amplifier. So in the voltage amplifier, the gain is given as A equal to beta RC upon Rin, where RC is the output resistance, load resistance, and Rin is the input resistance. Now the characteristic of a voltage amplifier are as follows. The base of the transistor should be thin, and hence the value of beta should be greater than 100. The resistance of the input resistor Rin should be low when compared to the collector resistor RC. The collector resistor load should be relatively high to permit high collector load. The voltage amplifiers are always operated at low collector current, and the voltage amplifiers are used for small signal voltages. As I mentioned in the previous slide, the block diagram shows that the voltage amplifiers are used in the initial stages of a public address system in order to amplify the small signals or small voltages, whereas the relatively high voltages are magnified by the power amplifiers. Now one question more arises is why can't we directly feed the output voltage of a small signal amplifier directly to the load? The answer would be that the small signal amplifier output resistance is poorly matched with the resistance of the load, or in other words they have poor impedance matching, and because of that the transferred power to the load would not be maximum. So in order to have good impedance matching, the power amplifiers are used. So this is the another function of power amplifier, that it provides good impedance matching with the load so that the power delivered to the load is maximum. Okay, in the case of power amplifiers, the beta must be greater than 100. The size of transistor is made larger in order to dissipate more heat which is produced during transistor operation. So the sizes are bigger, so the heat is dissipated in a bigger way. Transformer coupling is used for impedance matching, and the collector resistance is made low. Now these are the basic differences between the voltage amplifier and power amplifier. This is an important chart. We all should try to remember these differences in voltage and power amplifier. So after that we have a categorization or classification of power amplifiers on the basis of the operating point, the location of the operating point. So based on that, the power amplifiers are divided into different classes, and based on the frequency ranges for which they work, they are divided as audio power amplifier and radio power amplifier. The audio power amplifiers work for audio frequency range which is from 20 Hz to 20 kHz, whereas the radio power amplifiers work for the higher frequency ranges or radio frequency ranges, RF ranges, which starts from 3 kHz to 300 GHz. So as I mentioned that on the basis of the location of the Q point, they are characterized as class A, class B, class C and class AB. Also class D is there, but in our syllabus it is limited up to class A, B, C and AB. So we will consider all of them one by one in our next later videos, but before that we have to consider some performance criteria or performance terms. So the first and very most important term is the collector efficiency. Efficiency is the performance parameter, performance measure, which is nothing but the output with respect to input. So for a power amplifier, it is a power conversion efficiency, which is the output voltage in AC, which gives the output power in AC with respect to the input power in DC. So how much DC input power is converted into useful output power is given by power conversion efficiency eta, and it is a fraction, so it is considered in percentage. Now then is the power dissipation capacity, how much power can be dissipated by an amplifier. If the metal sinks or heat sinks are used, the power dissipation is higher and less power will be dissipated within the device, and therefore it will be saved. Distortion is a amplitude distortion, and therefore the devices are non-linear device, and the amplitude distortion is the change in the amplitude with respect to the input. Is defined as a change of output wave shape from the input wave shape of the amplifier. An amplifier that has less distortion produces better output and hence considered efficient. So the distortion factor should be low, dissipation should be high, efficiency should be high. Thank you so much.